In this video, we will talk about Elon Musk. People don't realize what's coming. Before starting this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's chat about what's ahead in the future. However, let's say what we venture into interstellar space and find out there are hundreds of alien civilizations. I like the idea of decentralization among nations, and I want all countries to be as autonomous as possible. I don't know about you, but I think that someone on Earth needs to be in charge. And it sure as hell isn't gonna be a world where everyone lives according to their own whims and desires. We would need to represent our entire planet and our species in the galactic playing field in order to present an image that's worthy of respect. Representing just our particular island would not be sufficient. And here, according to Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, is where humanity's greatest challenge lies. Musk is of the opinion that by the time humanity recognizes the need to combine our efforts and pool our resources, it will be too late. I wonder how many extinct civilizations that were only found on one planet there are out there in the universe. Species that were unable to survive the journey to another planet and either died out on their home world or were wiped out by the forces from the outside world, probably a few. Before we recognize the need for a unified world, we will probably establish first contact with an extraterrestrial species, which is the most likely scenario. In the end, there will be an existential crisis caused by this. I'll explain why. The terrifying reality of existence in space. The most terrifying thing I've ever learned about the universe came on a podcast hosted by the Joe Rogan and featuring Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tyson explained that there are these things called rogue planets, which are planets that are trapped between the gravitational fields of the multiple suns. Rogue planets can be thought of as a kind of hybrid between a planet and a star. As a result of the gravitational attraction exerted by the two or more suns, a planet will eventually be ejected into space and will afterwards transform into a collection of rogue, icy pebbles that wander aimlessly across the cosmos. It's a horrible nightmare out there in the cosmos. The Earth is a tiny within a speck in the vastness of the space. And yet, on this speck, there have been thousands of stories, religions, experiences, and every human being, whether poor, famous, brave, or cowardly. Therefore, Elon Musk sees two possibilities for the future of humanity. We remain here on Earth until the inevitable arrival of some catastrophic cataclysm, either from within or without. It's possible that will happen a billion years from today. Perhaps we will talk about that tomorrow. Who are we to judge? In order to decrease the likelihood of our species going extinct, we evolved to become multiplanetary beings. Furthermore, if Earth were to ever be struck by a meteor or suffer a nuclear attack, a society that existed on Mars would be able to assist in the reconstruction of Earth. Some academics believe that a huge asteroid collision with the Earth is long overdue, despite the fact that the likelihood of an asteroid as large as the one that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs is rather low. On the other hand, NASA has recognized in no uncertain terms that detecting asteroid is an extremely challenging task. In point of fact, an asteroid with a destination of 2009, okay, that was the size of a football field, was discovered in the 2019, just one day before it passed between the Earth and the Moon. Researchers were completely shocked by the finding. BuzzFeed News claims to have gotten copies of the official NASA documents in which a NASA scientist is quoted as saying, "This one did sneak up on us." If you want to see an actual extraterrestrial, click here. Why Elon Musk is completely and utterly misguided about aliens. Aliens exist because we exist. At the very least, this is the central contention. In an endless world, we have no choice but to think that even if the probability of life is extremely low, the mere fact that we exist indicates that there must be other sentient beings someplace. This reasoning is completely fallacious, or at the very least, it can be contradicted in many other ways. To begin, it's possible that the cosmos doesn't stretch on forever. We're able to anticipate the possible edge. In addition, the likelihood of humans really existing is so very remote that it's a miracle that we are even here. If we take the amount of different ways that the life may have evolved and divide that number by all of the other possible combinations of molecules, we find that the odds of there being life are extremely low. To sum it all up, extraterrestrial beings do not exist. There is no shred of evidence to support them. There is not shred of evidence to support them. All we have are bizarre tales from Bob Lazar that are devoid of any credible sources. Did you know that people who don't practice any form of religion are more inclined to believe in extraterrestrial life? That's really interesting relationship. It is a belief of mine that extraterrestrials do exist and that I will have the opportunity to interact with them in my lifetime. But I acknowledge that this belief is on par with the conviction that Jesus Christ will return, maybe less so since Jesus was a historical figure. Musk's assertion for a multiplanetary species is still relevant and vital, despite the fact that Elon Musk, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Stephen Hawking may not or may be correct about the existence of aliens. Finding escape routes from this planet. Imagine for a moment that we have achieved Elon Musk's lifelong goal of settling Mars. Restoring Mars' magnetic field is the first concrete step in the process of terraforming the planet, which might be thought of as a massive landscaping project. When Mars was only 500 million years old, its magnetic field began to weaken and eventually disappeared. Before that, it was hypothesized that Mars had an atmosphere comparable to the Earth and that liquid water might be found everywhere. If a planet does not have this magnetic shield, the sun will consume its atmosphere, destroying any life that may have developed on the planet. There is no way to terraform Mars without first restoring the planet's magnetic field. Otherwise, the planet's atmosphere will only continue to be stripped away by the winds. Except in the case if they have a strategy to generate an atmosphere at the rate this faster than the rate at which it can be removed. The only method to reawaken Mars' magnetic field is to kickstart the planet's internal dynamo, or, to put it another way, to make Mars as hot as possible. The term dynamo refers to the mechanism by which a planet heats itself, acting in a manner similar to that of an oven. Kinetic energy, which is supplied by the rotation of the planet, is combined with conductive fluid in this process, molten iron. This is the reasoning behind Elon Musk's proposal to nuke Mars' atmosphere. In order to make the blasted thing habitable again, we need to warm it up. Even though he is crazy, narcissist sociopath, he doesn't want to nuke Mars. However, it's possible that he is also sociopath. However, to paraphrase the insightful words of the Kanye West, name one genius who ain't crazy. One final consideration. During interviews conducted in 1969 after the moon landing, inhabitants of the home who were black expressed the following sentiment: "It's a brilliant achievement, but why isn't any of that money invested to battle hunger in America or to pull people out of poverty?" I can understand why people might find space travel and difficulties that sound like that came straight out of the Star Trek episode to be frustrating, considering all the issues that exist on the Earth. But sooner or later, these topics will be on the front page of the newspapers. It's a prudent notion to establish a backup strategy, particularly in the light of the recent discussions in the mainstream media about the possibility of the World War III and nuclear war. Becoming a race capable of inhabiting more than one planet may look like a waste of time right now, but in the long run, it will pay off. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below.